All righty.
Hello.
Glad to see everybody today. This is Real Talk on Shelbyville Now.
Yes,
I'm
it
David
is.
Thomas. This is Bo Gill.
Yes,
We're going to dive into some topics today, Bo, and I got an idea, and I want to play it out today and see. It might take a little too long, but we can hit some of the high points here.
Well, one thing we're going to do on Real Talk, we always have a little fun, and we talk about a little bit of everything. So that's what you're going to get today.
Some real talk about some crazy stuff and a lot of it's not crazy. A lot of it's some of it's scary, some of it's funny. It's the top 10 trending news items on social media for today. And some of this you won't believe, but we're going to talk about that. And before we do, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsor, Norris Plumbing. Third generation plumber, Bo, here in Beverly County.
Years and years of experience.
Great folks to work with. Give Jay a call if you need anything.
24-hour service.
Yep. And we're going to hear from him, and we'll be right back.
Norris Plumbing has been serving our community for 3 generations, providing reliable solutions for every plumbing need. From water heaters and water lines to kitchens, baths, and complete repiping, our team delivers quality workmanship you can trust. Professional service means arriving on time, explaining the problem, and completing the job with precision. At Norris Plumbing, we stand behind our work because your home deserves the very best. Call Norris Plumbing today at 931-703-5915. Norris Plumbing, trusted, professional, dependable.
All righty, welcome back in here to Real Talk. And Bo, I'm going to jump right into it. Top 10 trending news items on social media today.
Top 10.
All right, first of all, we've got China coming out and they're cracking down on hostile or pessimistic online content. They're going to censor their people if they find them talking about let's see, some of the things, spreading false economic rumors or causing pessimism, especially given youth unemployment and economic cooling. They want them talking about the truth over there.
That's right.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds very familiar. Sounds like something we've gone to in this liberal era of cancel culture.
I don't think it's just liberal anymore, Bo. I think it's all sides.
It is. And you see what's happening. I mean, with the Jimmy Kimmel situation, and we'll get off for a second, but he got reinstated. I mean, that's just breaking news before we got on here. Yeah. And so that is, he practices free speech, but he has lost his audience.
Here's the thing, Bo. I think the free market plays out here.
Yes.
ABC has probably caved into the free speech thing, and they're going to put him back on.
Yes.
We put him back on. How many people are going to watch? Crickets, buddy. Crickets. Yeah. All right. That's just the way it's going to be.
And how many canceled culture during the big cancel culture of the left, when they canceled us, how many of them got the chance to come back? Zero. Well, none of them have came back. And they've came back on their own.
Look at all these vaccine mandates that went out. There's so many guys in the U.S. Army and the Navy and the Marines that got kicked out because they wouldn't take a vaccine. Mm-hmm. They were offered a way to come back in, but who would want to after that?
Nobody being treated like that. I mean, it's just common sense. They didn't want to put something in their body that now is being proven that wasn't so great back in the days when they first came out with
it's causing brain fog. We ain't going to go down that rabbit hole, but
sorry.
It's a joke.
It is a joke. We did go down a rabbit hole, but let's get back to our top 10.
All right. So Trump, TikTok, and autism findings.
That's
okay.
Right.
Several stories, Donald Trump speaking about possible deals involving TikTok and ownership. And we're going to have American influence on TikTok, supposedly.
Yes.
And then they were about to announce findings on autism, which Bobby Kennedy and Trump were going to have a press conference. It's taken place. And a lot of the claims were about vaccines and autism. And it's a big controversial can of worms that's being opened up here. But I think what he said yesterday in Charlie Kirk's memorial, which I don't understand how this fit, but he got this in that 1 out of 12 children born in the United States today, specifically young boys being born, are born with autism. Why? They spike in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's what we've all been talking about for a long time. And yeah, he did go a little long on that. I wish he could have saved that speech for another topic.
That was another time.
But and then back, let's go to the TikTok thing. The TikTok, I'm still not a big fan of it. My daughter likes it. A lot of young people do. They're trying to force a majority ownership. It looks like that they may have a deal, and they're going to release something on Friday, I believe. But it's still, I don't know. It's foreign influence, and I don't know how if you just press and try to make majority ownership, I feel like it's being forced, and it's
manipulated to make to give a good appearance. I don't think anything's going to change.
No, I don't.
I think the Chinese influence is still going to be there.
100%. It's there. It's in rightfully so, right? Isn't it their property?
But we don't have to allow it to be downloaded here.
Yes, and I agree because it's dangerous. When you look at something, it pops up something else. It's not what we want, especially for our young
anybody
kids.
under the age of 18 should not be allowed to do because of the garbage that you see on it.
Yes,
and I mean that gets down to, it's kind of like a trap. It looks like something innocent and it turns into something else. It's like a Trojan horse.
it does, and I've heard horror stories for young people that have dealt with this. That have it's just been horrible of what it can do to a young mind. But look, we're going to see at the end of the week if this is a deal. They say it is, but I agree with you on that. It's just the optics. It makes us feel safer because we've got some type of majority ownership. Wouldn't believe all that, but we'll see where it is. He's going to speak more on it towards the end of the week.
Yep. And of course, we did have the memorial yesterday for Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Several great speakers got up and honored Charlie Kirk. Donald Trump and his son Don Jr. Don Jr. was imitating his dad. It sounded just like him.
Yeah.
Trump went a little bit overboard, I think, and went into campaign mode again. And he don't need to be.
Sometimes he can't help himself, but
it's
even
automatic.
at a funeral.
Yeah.
But him and Elon together, I think that they've kind of squashed some things. I think Charlie said something a while back. Why can't y'all squash it? Maybe for his sake they have. I don't know. Maybe just for the people seeing us on camera they have. But I do know that I feel a rejuvenation, a revival in this country right now. I do believe, despite of all the things, and evil is still with us. It's going to lurk with us, but I feel a revival. I hear reports of churches being the pews are fuller on Sundays. More people are really, it's hitting home. That's a blessing right there.
Well, here's the thing, Bo. I think when something like this happens, that people are searching for answers. Why? Why would something like this happen in this country to this person? Okay,
that's right.
And people run to the church because they know that's the source of truth that the Bible is taught there, and that is the truth. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they even want us to comment about it. People are wanting us to give us our take on explaining how can God let something like this happen.
Yeah,
and there is an answer for that.
There is.
God receives glory, and He allows things to happen sometimes to get glory. And I think maybe yesterday's gathering was just an indication of what's to come out of this day.
Yeah. I mean, the presidential cabinet, most of the members were there proclaiming Jesus. I mean,
Marco Rubio started preaching.
This is a revival, and I hope and pray that our country goes forward with this in a positive
also,
direction.
Bo, this is a revival, and it's unfortunate that this is what it took.
Yes.
But the story is not over.
No.
The story is not over on actually what's behind all this. And we know we've talked about it, light and darkness, good versus evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I just so much want the evil to have a face on it.
Yes.
I want to know who the evil is so that we can identify this evil. We know who it is, but the ones that are being used, flesh and blood that's being used, I know our battle's not against them, but we can set them over to the side.
That's right.
And punish them for what's actually happened. And I don't think for a minute this 22-year-old boy was by himself and acted alone. I think there's something else
you don't believe what you see. It's never what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you. There's a lot of behind the scenes investigations going on. I haven't seen personally any relevant evidence that would make me really put whoever did it on one side or the other, but I'm hearing a lot of things. I'm hoping that there'll be more truth come out, evidence-based truth.
I don't think we're ever going to know, but I think we're going to kind of know.
Yeah.
I think we're going to kind of know enough to make you sick at your stomach, and ain't nobody going to do nothing about it.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now, the people that are connecting the dots here, Tucker Carlson is one. Matt Walsh is one.
Yep.
Jimmy Dore. Some of these guys that have podcasters that they want to get to the bottom of the truth, and they're not a part of the establishment. They just want to know what the truth is. Candace Owens, she's all over this.
They're self-made people.
They're trying to make Candace Owens look to be a fool, but she's connecting the dots really quick.
Yes.
Tucker Carlson knows what's going on. Erica Kirk knows what's going on.
Yes, and it's a blessing that she stepped up. I don't believe it. I don't know what her plans were, but I would think it probably wasn't in her plans to step up to head this organization. It's probably whoever was second or third in charge there, and for her to step up, which means she got in on some information that she needed to know, and then she took charge.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, we'll see. There's a lot of rumors and
there's a lot of speculation. However, Prakash Patel came out and said because of some of these things that are being posted, I mean, there have been people showing ballistic reports showing how a 30-06 can't act the way this shot did.
Yes.
And okay, that was scientific based study. Okay, well, you got to take a look at that. Prakash Patel said, all right, we're going to chase it down and we're going to look at it.
Yes.
Possibility of another shooter somewhere else. All these other possibilities.
Don't believe
who's
what you
behind
see.
it.
Yeah,
all right,
don't
so
believe. You can't even believe witnesses sometimes. And the FBI or the police, they're doing the best they can with what they have.
Yeah.
And
there is something sinister behind this whole thing, and the outcome, the truth wants to come out, but this darkness is trying to prevent the truth from coming out.
Yep.
So,
That's right.
And it's a battle within our law enforcement, our administration, our whole country. There's a battle taking place right now. So
yes,
it is a spiritual battle.
It's a spiritual battle.
All right. So, okay. We also had U.S. employers monitoring employee social media posts. Now we've heard about some of the people posting these terrible things about Charlie Kirk after he was killed, getting fired or getting reprimanded, consequences for this. But what do you think about that?
Well, I think that as far as monitoring, if I was an employer, I would like to know my employees, and if we have a certain example, then I think that's okay. That's fair game. Now the government monitoring you, that's a whole different ball game. But I mean, if someone that represents your company speaks ill or really bad things, I mean, you can either fire them or you can bring them in for a talk. But I don't see anything wrong with that in private. I assume, and I say most people would, if you're that any type of employment you go through, anybody you even meet probably runs your name through social media and checks out really who you are.
Well, here's the thing about it, Bo. If you're a company and you have people like that represent your company out doing stuff like this, it can hurt your reputation.
Yes, it can.
And that's a fallback. People want to say that's a violation of freedom of speech. No, it's not. You're welcome to continue to do it. You just don't have a job.
You can do it. It's a consequence
you're gonna get fired.
You face for
but ain't nobody gonna stop you. Just keep on.
Don't confuse freedom of speech. That freedom of speech is what you can say. You've got freedom. This lady or any of these people, they've had freedom of speech, but they face the consequences. Jimmy Kimmel, he's coming back, but he's faced consequences. And he's going to lose a lot of viewers in between this, and they're going to see
he's lost them.
Yeah, that it's not financially feasible. And then you'll see Jimmy Kimmel go, it'll be not too, but they're acquiescing to his complaining, and I get it, but it is freedom of speech, but that again, ABC, they have the right to fire, hire.
When you only have 200,000 viewers,
at
night in a nighttime show like that should be getting millions.
Well,
it tells you two things, Bo. The content is pathetic, and network television is dying.
What happened to comedy? Johnny Carson back in the 80s and 90s, he would give like one or two presidential jokes, and the rest was funny stuff. Now it's a whole political satire against
whoever you're against.
Well, the conservatives. I mean, that's who it's. You don't hear anything about Biden. They missed so many opportunities to make fun of Biden and the Democrat on Saturday Night Live. And who did they make fun of? Trump and the conservatives. In the conservative, it's a total left leaning thing, and they can just be where they are without their viewers. I mean, nobody's watching that junk anymore.
All right. So one other thing, Medicaid overhaul. In 2027, if you are able-bodied, you're going to have to work to be eligible for Medicaid. And I don't know what the parameters are going to be, but it makes sense to me. If you're able-bodied, you should be working, period.
That's just a common human sense. I mean, if you are able to provide, if you are able to, to make money, then you can. Look, a lot of people get things confused, and nowadays you don't have to move your body as much to make money. You can work a lot on the computer. They're able bodies. I mean,
here's an argument. I ain't working for that.
Well, then I'm sorry. Then
I'm not working for that money. I know. I'm not working for that. That's not enough money.
Well, then,
okay, work hard, get promoted.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the way you do it.
That's the way, that's the old tried and true way to do it. You start somewhere. Let's say you don't know anybody. You start from the bottom. You become a valuable employee. Even if you're the cook, let's say at McDonald's, you be the best cook you can be, to where if you're sick, they're going to be like, oh no, that cook. Exactly. They move you up, and it starts in little ways like that. You become a valuable employee to where they can't afford to lose you or to have you missing.
Yeah, be worth something.
You create your own value.
Exactly.
And you can do that yourself.
Some people think if they just show up, well, I'm here. That ain't it. That's the beginning point. Get there early, stay there late, and what you do in between, do the very best you can.
Yeah, smile a little bit. You know, be.
I don't care what it
approachable
is either,
and be
I mean,
correctable.
It could be anything. Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
be correctable,
exactly.
be coachable, and know that you're not perfect.
That's right. All right, Bo, there's a lot of other things we could jump into. There was one other thing that just caught me off guard. The number 2 trending news items on social media right today is there's some videos on TikTok of all other places like we were just talking about this pastor in South Africa has predicted the rapture, Jesus' return on September the 23rd and the 24th. Now, the rapture is not necessarily, well, we're not going to get into theology, but they got the theology all messed up here.
Yeah.
But some of it has been serious, some of it's been humorous, but some of the ones that won't know, well, are the dogs going to go too?
Well,
all right.
There's always questions that you need to know. You know, do I need to pack? Do I need this and that? Do I need to pay my last bill? Look, when the rapture comes, and look, it might be the 20 tomorrow. Oh, he's predicting either tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing: the Bible tells us,
then it's going to come.
No man knows the return of the Lord, and I don't think we know when the rapture is going to take place either.
We don't. So we stay ready, and we continue to just live like Christ, or try to live like Christ in our flesh, which is hard to do, but it's a struggle every day.
Yeah.
No, look, I try to live every day like right now would be the rapture. I think it's a good way to think. Actually,
here's
a good way to live, to think.
All right, it could take place any day.
Yeah.
I always thought that, hey, this is going to be way out past my lifetime, but the way things are shaping up, it could be any day, Bo. And that's the way people need to be living.
Yes.
Are they ready for that? Are people ready for that?
Yeah. Are you ready? And only you can answer that. We have some feedback there.
We got.
Let's see what we got. We got any questions?
Unfortunately, there is zero work ethic with today's generation. There's a few out there that do try. I have seen some of them, but for the most part, you are absolutely right, Slowpoke. And Joe Finch, there is no constitutional right to do or say anything that does not harm to the business where you are employed. No constitutional right to do or say anything that does harm to the business where you are employed.
That's right.
And
you don't have a right.
That employer has the right to fire your hind end.
He's right. You don't have a right as an employer to run down your company. That's and also what was that first comment?
Unfortunately, there's zero work ethic with today's generation.
The work ethic. Today, I met with a lady to try to get home improvement on the thing. She had 3 people lined up. This is throughout a 6-month. They never did show up. One of them showed up. One of them showed up to give the estimate and never would. People don't want to show up, and I don't know what the problem is. Get to work.
That's the first step of being an employee. Is showing up for the job, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't understand that.
I mean, tie your shoes. Get the.
It's happened to me as an employer. Hire somebody on Friday, start Monday. Crickets. Nobody around.
Yeah, I don't.
What?
That I don't understand that mentality.
And not even a call like, I'm sorry, I decided not to do it. No courtesy.
You need a courtesy call at least. But look, if that's you, or if somebody listening has done that, do better. Do better. Do what you say. Be a man of your word, or a woman of your word.
I'll say this. I'm proud of the employees that we have here.
You've got good employees from what I've seen.
Yes, but I'm not gonna go out on a limb anymore. The ones we got, and that I think they can handle what's going on.
A good employee is worth its weight.
And that's just the way it is. I'd hate to know right now that I was trying to hire somebody.
Yeah, I know it.
But
that
anyway,
would be bad.
Thank everybody for joining in here today.
Love the comments, everything.
Thanks, Kendall, for watching.
Yep.
We're going to get out here and we'll be back Thursday. We're going to do this every time. We're going to look at what's trending and talk about those things.
I like that. I think that, and we like y'all's feedback. So, just whatever you want to say.
Anything you want to talk about, let us know. But we'll be back on Thursday to talk about
sure will.
Whatever's real.